Jeremiah 4 through 6. So Jeremiah's ministry was foreordained or predestined in the sense that God had called him. Well, let's listen to 1, 5, and 7. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, I chose you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you to be a prophet to the nations. So God uses several words to describe the idea, and I think this is a fair idea that we can spread across the entire story, that God has a plan for people. Sometimes it can be a plan that God knows how things will go. Other ways, or other times, we can say that God has a set ministry that He wants us to know that He has had in mind before we were even born. And that seems to be how God handles Jeremiah. And then God even tells him about his audience, as though he doesn't need to look for an audience, he'll be given one. Do not say, I am a youth, for you shall go to whom I send you. It's encouraging in that sense for Jeremiah and for us, that God is not shocked by the people to whom we will minister. He knows, and He's kind of set that in motion before we even approach them, that He is in control of that. And of course, the nation to whom Jeremiah goes has a complaint lodged against it by God. This is part of that story we've been hearing. 1:16, I will utter my judgments against them concerning all their wickedness, because they have forsaken me. They have burned incense to other gods and worshipped the works of their own hands. 2:8, the priests did not say, where is Yahweh? And those who handle the law did not know me, and the rulers also transgressed against me. The prophets prophesied by Baal, and walked after things that do not profit. Therefore I will yet bring charges against you, says the Lord, and against your children's children I will bring charges. Has a nation changed its gods, which are not gods? But my people have changed their glory for what does not profit. Clearly, of course, the issue here is the worship of other gods. They could have worshipped me. In fact, they did at one point. The story goes on in early Jeremiah to describe an interesting word, at least in the old King James, backslide. You may have heard that term used in a sermon. It comes up in the old King James, and in fact in the New King James Version, in Jeremiah 3:6. The Lord said also to me in the days of Josiah the king, have you seen what backsliding Israel has done? She has gone up on every high mountain and under every green tree, and there played the harlot. What's interesting is the word backslide is a good word because it comes from the Hebrew word meshuvah. Ma is the word from, and shuv is the idea of dwelling. So to go from one dwelling to another. You can see the sense there of I was in one place and I have gone back to another place. So that word in a sense is a good word, but in English it sounds like you're just having an off day, or you're going back in the sense of behaviors or something like that. That's how I grew up with the term. The book of Hosea 11:7. My people are bent on backsliding. There's the meshuvah word, on backsliding from me. But notice the context of this word. Though they call to the Most High, none at all exalt Him. The idea really is one of apostasy. So don't use this term in English to mean you're having a period, let's say weeks or months, of not being a good Christian. The word in the Old Testament only occurs 12 times, 9 times in Jeremiah. It clearly is talking about having a previous commitment to Yahweh, which has been broken, and now you are going back. So a better translation would be the ESV and the NIV, which has the word faithless here. And I would even say a better word is the Net version, which chooses the word wayward. Again, that idea that I was dwelling in a certain position, but now I've chosen to dwell in another. So that's the meaning of that word. Well, thus, what would be the result, or what would be the solution to this, of course, would be 6:16. Thus says the Lord, stand in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. By old, we're talking about the way you used to be loyal, where the good way is, and walk in it. Then you will find rest for your souls. but they said, we will not walk in it. Well, the final result then of this backsliding into false or bad worship is in 5:19. Interesting way of describing this. Just as you have forsaken me and served foreign gods in your land, so you shall serve foreigners in a land that is not yours. So what God is saying is, because you have chosen the gods of the people of a foreign land, I'm sending you into that land to worship those gods with them. Remember the concept of cosmic geography, that when you go to another land, you by definition, or at least by the optics, by the perception, you will be forced to worship the gods of that land, because that's the gods that control that land. Now, it will take some pretty hefty theology for people like an Ezekiel or a Daniel to realize that they can be in that land and still worship Yahweh. But that discussion is yet to come, because as I say, that is a very advanced theological mindset that allows a person to be in a foreign land and yet worship Yahweh, which they will be able to do.